your spouse making more money than you. How important is it? Is it that big of a deal for us to break up? Is it that big of a deal for the determining factor whether we stay together long term or short term? Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Spouse making more money than you. Man to woman, woman to man. How do we feel about your spouse making more money than, or even your partner leading up to your spouse? Not necessarily marriage, but your girlfriend, like boyfriend. Is that a big deal breaker for you? I know us as men, sometimes we have pride issues, things of that nature. How do we feel about that?
So I'll piggyback on that because you mentioned cool keyword is called pride. Pride is not just skin deep, it's not color deep, it's not male or female specific. Everybody has some sort of sense of pride, and if you don't, you should. So I don't think that is the limiting factor. Like, of course, that's what's portrayed. Like the man brings home the bacon,
right.
The woman stays home and bakes cookies and gets on Pinterest,
right.
does head spins,
that ain't
whatever.
Today.
But it's not today. You know what I'm saying?
It's a new age.
It's a very, very, very new age. So my personal opinion is spouse. If I'm attacking spouse making more money than me, go ahead, baby, get that money. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? And that because I'm comfortable with who I am.
Right.
Definitely.
I'm comfortable with what I bring to the table,
Definitely.
and I'm comfortable with what all of those factors add up to be. The other part to that is I'm very skill based and talent based. So if you have more skills and talent, I naturally think you should make more money. Just honestly, it does not come down to the fact that I have to be the one to provide if I don't have more skill or talent.
But I think it just depends on the field that you're in.
For sure.
Like if you're doing something that you're passionate about, but it just doesn't bring in the same money as your partner, then that shouldn't be looked frowned upon. Like if your girl's a doctor because she loves the medical field, but you want to be a teacher because you love teaching kids, but teachers don't make as much as doctors. But I'm a man and she's a woman, so that shouldn't be frowned upon. So just things like the situations like that.
I was gonna say the scenario, it could have a lot to do with it because, again, you got a woman that might be a doctor, she loves doing that. A man that's a teacher loves doing that. But say it's a situation where the woman, let's use doctor again. She's a doctor, she loves being a doctor, and a man just settles for working at Foot Action. I feel a woman would be like, hey, what are you doing?
Not accept.
Not okay with
So
it.
y'all know.
So
You know what I mean?
Like the situation. Basically.
Yeah.
I think as the female, I've always worked hard and wanted to be able to provide for myself, and I've always I would say there's been a few relationships where the guys made more than me, but I've mostly made more, and it sucks actually as a female to not, you have to be with someone who's confident enough to be okay with that, and I feel like you always try to line, but to your point, that as long as they're doing something and they work hard, I'm fine. If I'm making a lot of money because I'm working 80 hours a week and I'm busting my ass and they're at home playing video games as I'm leaving, that is not the guy. Go fucking kick rocks.
Right.
But
sure.
if they're doing something that they're passionate about, like coaching, teaching, whatever, and following their dreams, I will believe in them and support it, even if they're making nothing.
And I think that comes with mindset, because some might look at it as, okay, well, you can't take care of me. A woman might look at that. And I think sometimes social media portrays it as, I want a man who makes this. I want someone who makes this, who could take care of me, buy me this, buy me that. But that doesn't necessarily have to do with you having a stable relationship. So I think, that's just, so when I think about that, I'm like, I don't know what the issue is, but then I think about older times, and I think about newer times, and it's just different.
And with today, with having social media, it seems as if women have gotten okay with a man bringing everything home and them being content with that. Me personally, I wouldn't be with a woman who's content with that because I want someone who wants to go after it the same way as I do. I'm not the type of person that wants to take care of anybody, especially a grown-ass person. Like, I'll take care of my kids, but I'm not taking care of a grown person. And I don't have that in my mind to where, regardless of how much I'm making, whether I'm making $1,000 a month, $1,000 a week, $1,000 a day, the person I'm with has to be doing something. Like, they have to be, and I don't want somebody that settles. Like, I want you to go after what you truly believe in. I don't care how much it makes, as long as you're doing it, attempting to bring something in. I feel like that's where a lot of the newer age people, men and women, get lost in it. Is they feel like, okay, if one person is making all the bank, I don't have to try as hard.
But see, that the thing is, I mean, we're talking about making more money than whoever, but I think that we start focusing on money so much in a relationship and greed that we get lost. Like, our relationship gets lost about the things that actually matter. And so that my next question was going to be, what if money isn't the issue, money isn't the topic of discussion? Why does everything always revert back to money if that's not even the most important thing in our relationship?
Necessity.
I was going to say hierarchy of needs, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you don't feel like you have a security at like the most baseline, that with the person you can like have shelter, food, like things covered, then there is like a sense of insecurity. I think, me personally, I have strived to never rely on someone. So if I'm with you, it's because I want to be with you, not because I need to be with you. But I think that makes it a better relationship because you're not relying on them. Like, if I'm with somebody because they have money, well, if they lose their job, then what happens? Like, I'm not happy anymore.
Right.
Or they like take a career change, or they
Right.
want to go back to school. They're not making the same. Economy shifts. If the reason that you're with them is because they were providing you purses, lifestyle, that may end.
Yeah.
Credit cards might get maxed out. You see, like, you can't maintain this. So I think it's a lot more important to be able to like work to maintain the lifestyle and be able to openly communicate about it up front. So even if it's uncomfortable, like talking about what your situation is and being like reasonable. Also, if the guy makes more and or the girl makes more, I don't think that means it should be like the person who makes more always pays for everything.
Right. Because you guys are still a team.
I was just about to go to that, to where like a dynamic in a relationship, if those things aren't spoken about within a relationship, again, the first thing you go to in an argument, I make more than you. What you talking about? I ain't gotta listen to you. I make more money than you. But if you have that communication within a relationship, and you guys are understanding to, I'm going after what I'm going after, you going after what you're going after, and we have this commonality that we're on the same page, going for the same thing, then the money aspect it's irrelevant to what's going on in a relationship. You're going after, life together rather than focused on, okay, who's bringing in what, who's doing what. It becomes irrelevant.
Well, it's a power struggle. I mean, people want to, and not everybody, but in a lot of relationships, they want to feel like, in a sense, it sounds bad, like, if I make more money than you, I have more power than you. Like, if I make more money than you, it's like, you're like, you can't go nowhere, you can't, because I basically, it's like I run things, and it's not right, but I think my next thing was going to be, what do you guys think, because if we think about statistics-wise, 50% or over 50% of divorces in the U.S. are because of money.
I would say that's just selfishness at its base core. Personal story between me and my fiance, we, for some reason, always thought as everything is ours. I can't give you a very stark reason, time of when it started versus why it started, other than both being on the same timeline, but everything was ours. And I mean everything.
Right.
And that's very rare in itself.
Right.
But it also makes me think of like how millennials, we have like that power to graduate the thought process of like, the only reason why this question in general is because of some generation before asking the same question, or some stereotype before, and then the generation before that. We know of people that are parents' age that settled down and went through stock market crashes. They went through depressions. They went through losing things, and at the same time, they also didn't build any skills of themselves, or they didn't dabble into any industries that they didn't belong. So they just stuck it out because they had kids and they had a house at one time. They might get back there again. Our way of thinking is not like that anymore. We're a little bit more entitled. Mm-hmm. So we feel like, well, I have these skills. I have this go get it. This person ain't getting it like I'm getting it, and then they can just chunk deuce.
Right.
You know, that's more the mentality we are anyways. So if we graduate both of those mindsets of that, yeah, you choose to be with somebody because you have a connection, therefore you do stick it out, but you also bring everything to the table. You don't leave things off the table.
Right.
Now I would say a decade from now, this question in itself might kind of become obsolete.
Yeah. And I feel like that stuff would make you guys, I mean, just thinking, like, I feel like that would make you closer. If you were with me when I had everything or when I didn't have anything and we still rock with it, you were my biggest supporter, you're my biggest fan, and we've rocked with everything moving up, I mean, to build something. I mean, I feel like that
with no mention of money.
Right. That just brings your, like, babe, I know you don't have it. Like, you're my partner. That's not what I'm with you for anyways. I'm with you because of how you treat me, how you're going to be a great father to our kids. You're already a great father to our kids. Like, my parents love you. You treat me great. I feel like a queen every day when I wake up. Like, those are the things that matter, not money. That's why I hate leading any type of situation with money. Even my job and my passion, like, whatever I want to do, it's not because I want to help people, but it's not because money. It's because I really want to see, like, I want to see people grow. I want to see the whole world a better place. Like, that is what I do it for. It's never for money.
And having that mindset of I'm doing what I love by default.
Right.
Money will come.
The money will come.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're continuously pushing toward what you want to do.
Right.
Consistent.
It doesn't even cross your mind. But we're in a generation where a lot of people do, and we can't control that. You literally can just find who you find, and hopefully they on the same wave as you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Again, back to the generation talk. We grew up hearing more, do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Mm-hmm. Generation before it, that was not a known concept. Mm-hmm. But somebody passed that torch down. Mm-hmm. What is the torch that we're going to pass down to the generation? Because we have hell of people that like do what they love to do. They're not making a whole lot of money. Right. Some of them are making a shitload of money for no reason. Right. So there's like this huge pool if we're just talking about money. You know, like people that we would consider very talentless, very not they don't deem necessarily they don't deem necessary of the fame, the money, or the opportunities that they have. Mm-hmm. But for some reason they're getting all of that cream. Mm-hmm. And then you have people that like grind every day, really enjoy it, and they just get by.
Right.
And they just get by. So if the money talk is what it's going to be like, something that graduates, it's obviously going to come from how our character is with the people that we're with
and being on the same page.
Being on the same page.
As a female, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone who made so much money that you became replaceable. Because like if they felt like they could replace you because they had that much money, they can cheat, they can do whatever. You can't have this lifestyle without me. Our kids will lose all of this. That to me would be an insecure position to be in. So I would much rather be with someone that like, I mean, if they made that much but we had a great communication, that's different. But I think that a lot of times when the gap gets too big between a couple, specifically like male to female, actually probably both directions, and you're not with the right person, you become like feeling very dispensable because money relates to like a power thing, as you said. But as far as just making more, I think that being with the right person makes a big difference.
Those are all.
This generation is really fucking up.
But these are all
with social media and the shows that are on there that are portraying that women who get athletes can have it all. But
Sugar daddy, sugarbaby.com. I have friends that are sugar babies.
Like everybody's a rapper.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, cool, we get it. I guarantee you if anybody gets it, we get it.
Yeah, for sure.
But, just like we've said in other conversations before, that time's up, just like the whole women's movement now. The whole little slogan is "Time's up." That time's gonna cash out. Literally, literally, that time is gonna cash out, and something is going to be the next resource.
These are all great points. These are all really great points. Thank you guys. It definitely helped me. Thank you guys for this. Helped me for sure.
We helping each other.
Thank you.
I think that's why. So it's all
yeah. Thank you guys.